Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez is officially locked in as the biggest fight of the year, set for September 2025. But just as the excitement hit a fever pitch, Floyd Mayweather stepped in with a serious warning, one that could change everything. After months of rumors, heated exchanges, and pure chaos, Turkey Alalshik has confirmed it. Crawford versus Canelo is happening. And the stage couldn't be more epic, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, a fitting battlefield for a clash of this magnitude. But if you were expecting a respectful, sportsmanlike showdown, think again. These two aren't trading compliments. They're trading shots. And it all reached a boiling point at a Saudi airport.
Turkey is this. Yesterday they text me. They text me and say, we can talk about the fight in February with Crawford. Yeah. They text me yesterday and I say, look, I'm not gonna talk about any other fight. I'm focused 100% on this fight. Look, I don't like the way he talked, and I'm not in this position because of any. I'm in this position if he wants to work with me, it's in my way, not in their way.
What was
I don't need it.
What didn't you like about how he approached?
It's not the way to approach. It's not the way to approach to me. Look, I respect everybody and I respect Turkey, but look, if he wants to work with me, it need to be.
The two undisputed champions were scheduled to meet with Turkey Alalshik to lock in the final details for their September showdown. But things went off the rails before they even got that far. Tensions exploded the moment they crossed paths at the airport. When Canelo Alvarez came face-to-face with Terence Crawford, there was no handshake. Not even a nod. Crawford had expected at least a moment of mutual respect, some kind of acknowledgement between two elite warriors. Instead, Canelo walked straight past him, cold and dismissive, like he wasn't even there. And if you know Crawford, you know that's not something he let slide. He's built different, driven by pride, by respect. Disrespect him, and you better be ready for what comes next. So Crawford stepped up, ready to address it head-on. But instead of defusing the moment, Canelo turned up the heat. According to reports, he got right in Crawford's face, fists clenched, like he was ready to throw the first punch right there in the terminal. That's when chaos nearly broke loose. Both camps rushed in. Security scrambled to separate the fighters, trying to stop an international airport from turning into an impromptu boxing ring. What was supposed to be a calm, professional meeting almost turned into a full-blown brawl before the fight was even announced. And as for Floyd Mayweather? How does he fit into this high-stakes chaos in the Middle East? Let's just say Money Mayweather has been close to Crawford ever since this fight started taking shape. And with the way things are unfolding, his presence might be more important than anyone expected.
Canelo, I think that's weird, you know, because you'd have to gain like, what, 20 pounds? Yeah. But they say that's the money fight. That's the mega fight, that's the money fight, that's the only thing that makes sense for Terence Crawford.
So, you know what I mean? Catch weight. You can do something out of catch weight.
What weight you think?
I like 160.
So you said 154 is the highest you want to go.
Yeah, 158. 60.
Word on the street? Floyd Mayweather has been quietly working behind the scenes with Bud Crawford, helping him sharpen his arsenal, mentally and physically. He's not just offering advice. He's passing down the blueprint of an undefeated champion. This isn't just a friendship, it's a full-blown fight camp with real purpose. Mayweather's legacy, ring IQ, and decades of experience are now part of Crawford's playbook as he prepares for what might be the biggest challenge of his career.
Hold me back!
When news of the airport confrontation broke, Floyd Mayweather didn't sit on the sidelines. As headlines swirled and media spun their narratives, Money Mayweather stepped up with a message, direct and unfiltered. Even though Crawford is no newcomer, he needs to approach Canelo Alvarez like he's the most dangerous opponent he's ever faced. And let's be real, when Floyd says that, it hits different. He's not just speaking from experience. He's speaking as the only man who ever handed Canelo a clean, undeniable loss. He didn't just win, he outclassed him. Start to finish, though, when it comes to knowing what it takes to beat Canelo Alvarez, there's no better source than Floyd Mayweather.
You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boy, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit.
always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting.
Yeah.
I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd, nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, I'll be this. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Yeah, like plot.
Yeah, like shit.
Floyd Mayweather isn't pulling any punches, not in the ring, and definitely not in his advice to Terence Crawford. He's sending a blunt, urgent warning. This isn't just another fight. This is legacy defining. This is dangerous stuff. Floyd's message is crystal clear. If Crawford isn't 110% locked in, this could go south fast. And when Mayweather talks, it's not empty hype. He's been there. He's done it all. And what he's saying now is simple. Look, I know you're great. But this is Canelo. You slip even once, and it's game over. And honestly, Floyd might be right. He even took to social media to drive the point home. Terence is a great fighter, but you don't just move up 2 weight classes and fight Canelo unless you know exactly what you're doing. This sport is about smart moves, not just big ones. This is a wake-up call for Terence. Coming from the man who mastered the art of smart fighting, this isn't just advice, it's a warning. One that could make all the difference.
Like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean?
But here's where things get really interesting. It wasn't just the airport snub. Insiders say Canelo made things even more personal afterward, telling his team that he's not giving Crawford any respect. Not until they meet inside the ring. To Canelo, Crawford is just another name. Just another challenger. Not on his level. And if Crawford was already fired up, now he's entering this fight with bad intentions. Focused, furious, and more dangerous than ever. This is no longer just about belts, it's personal, it's war.
Looking great. Thank you. I will come to it. Looking great. Thank you. I will come to it.
By the time both fighters arrived at Turki Alashik's residence, the tension was palpable. Turki, ever the smooth operator and mastermind behind these mega events, had to step in and play referee. Photos soon surfaced, him standing between Canelo and Crawford, trying to keep the peace. They posed for the cameras. But let's be honest, the energy in the room said everything. No smiles, no handshakes, no peace. Just 2 champions, locked in and ready for war. With September now officially set, this rivalry has gone from heated to dangerous. And make no mistake, Crawford's taking a massive risk. Jumping up 2 weight classes to face a power puncher like Canelo. Critics are already asking, can he handle the size? The strength? The pressure? But with the fire Crawford's carrying now, this might not just be the biggest fight of his career, it might be the performance that defines his legacy.
Should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamel Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it. And lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky 3 and then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go.
But here's the twist. Crawford's not next. Before Canelo steps into the ring with Bud, he's got business to handle. On May 3rd, Canelo is scheduled to defend his undisputed super middleweight crown against William Skull. Some fans are calling it a tune-up fight. Others are wondering if it's even necessary. But here's the truth. If Canelo walks into the Crawford Showdown still holding all 4 belts at 168 lbs, the stakes don't just rise, they explode. Because now, this isn't just a fight, it's not just personal, it's not even just about pride, it's shaping up to be one of the biggest undisputed championship battles in modern boxing history.
Pretend you want to move up to 68 and fight the winner of Canelo Showdown at 68.
I commend them for it. Because it takes a lot of balls to do it. A lot of courage, but it also takes, more importantly, it takes believing in yourself. So I commend Crawford for it.
Now let's address the elephant in the room, the weight difference. Crawford has never fought at 168 pounds before. That's a massive 14-pound jump from his last bout. Naturally, fans are wondering if Crawford might be biting off more than he can chew. But here's something people forget. Canelo Alvarez also started his career at welterweight, the same division where Crawford became undisputed. For elite champions like these, moving up in weight isn't some risky gamble. It's just another mountain to climb, another challenge to conquer.
I can't go down anymore. But you know, like he say, you know, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't wanna get credit for that fight. It's the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's gonna say it's too small, it's too small, it's too small, and then, you know, he need to enjoy his fight. Okay, he deserves it. He deserves it. I like Spence, but you know, I like Spence and all the respect for him and everything. But I knew. I think is the type of fight Terence Crawford is different. 168, but like I say, like he say, nobody's gonna give me credit for that.
If there's anyone who knows the recipe for taking down Canelo Alvarez, it's Floyd Mayweather. Let's be real, Terence Crawford couldn't have found a better mentor for the job. Floyd Mayweather is the only man to have officially defeated Canelo, and he didn't just scrape by. He outclassed him for 12 straight rounds back in 2013. Sure, Canelo was younger then, but the lessons from that fight? They're just as relevant today. Ronnie Shields, a top-tier trainer, recently broke it all down. If Crawford wants to take out Canelo, he needs to follow Floyd's blueprint. Shields isn't worried about the weight difference like most people. He knows boxing isn't just about raw power, it's about IQ, footwork, and control. And that's exactly how Floyd beat Canelo. He set the pace, landed clean, slipped away before Canelo could react, kept him off balance, never letting him find his rhythm. Shields laid it out perfectly. Crawford needs to stay loose, keep moving, and never become a stationary target.
You were about 17, 18 at the time when Floyd Mayweather fought Arturo Gatti. I'm just curious, did you watch that fight?
Of course. I still watch it.
Right. Because it was that kind of... Because I'm asking because when you fought Ndongo at 140, you looked really great that night too. Same weight class Floyd that we fought Gatti.
Right.
Not asking hypothetical who would win, but do you think that night you were right there with Floyd on the night he fought Gatti?
Of course. I'm always thinking that I'm on a higher level than a lot of people give me credit. It's just me with the confidence that I have in myself.
Being that he was the previous pound-for-pound king before you, does he get a little more attention than other great fighters from you when it came to studying him on the way up? Or?
Of course.
What'd you take from him?
It was my era. You know, the whole hit, not get hit, and to make the adjustments that he's made to certain fighters. You know, he's the king.
So, do you think you guys got a lot in common?
In some aspects, yeah, we do.
How are you guys different?
We both boxing. I think, you know, I take more chances.
Excuse me, Carl?
You know, right now. But earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it just depends on which Floyd Mayweather you talk about. You talk about money or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was the seek and destroy fighter.
You're more like Pretty Boy, probably, right?
Right. But then, you know, he started having hand injuries, so he couldn't really keep up with the same, you know.
And here's the crazy part. Canelo has always struggled against that style. We saw it again in 2022, when Dimitri Bivol used slick movement and smart defense to throw Canelo completely off his game. Canelo couldn't cut off the ring. He got frustrated. He started swinging wildly. Bivol exposed the weakness, but Floyd Mayweather perfected the method. And now, he's passing that exact strategy on to Crawford.
Yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit, okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Mayweather has been in Crawford's corner ever since this fight was first announced, helping him prepare mentally and tactically for what's to come. Now that Floyd sees just how seriously Canelo is taking this, he's making it crystal clear to Crawford, you can't afford to slip. Not even for a second. Canelo might be one of boxing's biggest global superstars, but even he knows, this is no ordinary opponent, let's be honest. Canelo didn't just wake up one morning and think, let's fight Crawford. This was a calculated move. Because he knew, if he dodged this fight, the boxing world would never let him live it down.
Running from Benavides. What is that? I mean, imagine if I ever ran from anybody. Like, did I run from somebody in my career? No. Did Chavez run from somebody in his career? No. Chavez was 87-0. Imagine that. So to me, that's the all-time greatest fighter.
At the same time, Canelo knows the risk. And that's why he's not diving headfirst into the fire. Instead, he's taking a strategic detour, defending his titles against William Skull first. You can call it a warm-up, but let's call it what it really is, a smart delay. Canelo's no fool. He's seen what happened to fighters like Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and even Gervonta Davis. All of them who looked too far ahead, made one wrong move, and watched their momentum crash. Canelo's playing it smart. He's keeping Crawford in the rear view, not the windshield. For now, he's stalling, studying Bud's style, and buying time to prepare for what may be the biggest challenge of his career.
A fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about yet about the fight. Me and Tukash know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp?
Huh?
When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
in camp. Training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February or March.
So there you have it. Floyd Mayweather isn't just talking. He's issuing a full-blown warning to Terence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez is no joke, and whatever went down between them recently, it's only made things more dangerous. But here's the big question. Will Crawford listen to Floyd's advice? Or will he take his own route and try to shock the world his way? One thing's for sure, this fight is shaping up to be one of the most intense chess matches in boxing history.
Crawford couldn't have an error to himself. And if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favored? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ryan keep mentioning another?
No, I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
Now it's time for you to weigh in. Do you think Floyd's concerns are justified, or is Terence Crawford's precision too much to handle? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're excited for this epic clash, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Catch you in the next one. Boxing glove fire optional next step. Interested in having me combine all 14 interviews plus the intro into a single script or long-form article? I can format it for a YouTube fight breakdown or hype video, a sports feature article, or blog post, a podcast style narration, a Twitter/X thread with cliffhangers and engagement prompts.